Siehst du das? Hi, this is Patrik Baboumian coming to you from the Benitzer See near Berlin. This is just 10 minutes from where I live. I wanted to make this video to first of all apologize for the long time that I've been off of YouTube and just basically in this video tell you what I've been doing in the meantime to just recap everything that happened in the last couple of I think it was 1.5 years or so. And then I'm going to tell you in the next video what's coming up on YouTube. So the next video is going to probably be out, I don't know, tomorrow or a day later or so. But in this video, let's just talk about all the things that happened while my channel was dead on YouTube. The reason that I stopped making videos was because making the videos kind of took a lot of energy that I actually wanted to invest in other things. I just stopped doing it for a while. I've been doing in the first months when I stopped, I've been doing a lot of strength wars. So I just basically thought, well, if people want to see my stuff, they can still see me on strength wars, so it might be okay. Then I was on a lot of events in that period. I just made a list here. So one of those events was the Vegan Planet in Vienna. I was one thing that was really cool was that Katie and I we were invited on the Skywalker Ranch. So this is a huge ranch that George Lucas has set up for filmmakers to to just be out of the busy life in LA and have a quiet place where they can just focus on their work. We were invited there to work on the Game Changers. I guess if you follow me for a while, you're going to know what that is. That's going to be a pretty cool documentary coming out soon this year. I was really expecting it to end my career.
When I made the transition, I wasn't sure if I was going to survive.
What we eat has a major impact on our health in every way we can measure. Today's blood and yesterday's blood.
Damn. To think that these elite fighting machines were eating mainly plants went against everything I'd been taught about nutrition.
There is no one that can relate to this better than I do because I've lived in that world.
I'm in it just to rewrite history, cause I'm in the mood to label us the leaders of the new school. This ain't for the radio, can't find this on YouTube. This the type of killing that these critics ain't used to. Victorious.
The reason I was actually there was that we made some post-production, working on the sound and re-recording some of the stuff that I did for the film, like my lifting and stuff. We had pretty shitty audio sometimes, so we just re-recorded some of that stuff, like me grunting and doing other animalistic things for the film. Then I was in Beijing at China Fit. That's like basically the biggest fitness event in China. It was pretty cool. So this is not a vegan event or anything. It's just a fitness event, it was pretty cool because they had me as a headliner on a fitness event, which was pretty weird Then what did I do? Let me just check here. Yeah, so there was more game changer stuff then. So we had the world premiere at Sundance. It was pretty cool and fantastic. So on Sundance we had like screenings every day on the festival, and I was there for I think like 10 days or so. I met a lot of locals there, just everyday people, non-vegans who had watched the film and really liked it and said that it influenced them and that it really inspired them. So I'm really looking forward to, that was like a few thousand people seeing the film and the feedback was, awesome. So I'm really looking forward to have, millions of people in the world watch that film and see what happens then. It's gonna be pretty cool, can't wait. I did an interview here in Berlin for TV Tokyo. That was that's basically the biggest TV channel I think in Japan, and they wanted to make a whole documentary on veganism here in Europe and like what's happening here. And I was just a part of that documentary. They just came with me to the gym and we made some footage, me just training and talking about when I went vegan and what happened and stuff. So that was pretty cool to have something, in Japan. I think that was the first interview I did for Japanese TV, so that was pretty cool too. Then I was in Helsinki at the Vegemessut in early 2018. I was at Berlinale Film Festival. That's a Berlin International Film Festival. We had a pretty cool time there. For me, it was a little bit stressful because I also kind of organized some parts of our event at the film festival. So obviously, I was there. Oh, the wind is kind of trying to take away my list here. Let me just grab this. We had the Game Changers in Berlin. That was the international premiere of the film, so first time it was shown outside of the US. And we also got pretty cool feedback here. Then I was in Linköping in Sweden on a vegan event. I was on the VegMed conference. That was like in early summer that was actually in April, I think, last year. Then I was in Sweden, in Stockholm, at Vegomässan. In May last year, I was in Bristol on the VegFest. That was pretty cool. We did some gym sessions with Hench Herbivore and Nimai Delgado and a lot of the other vegan lifters. Was pretty funny time there. We had a lot of fun. Next, I was in Moscow, and that was my first event in Russia on the Mos VegFest. That was the name of the event. It was also pretty cool. The organizer is a pretty cool guy. We had a good time there. Then I was in the US again at Spokane VegFest, which was pretty cool. It's like compared to most of the events that I attend, Spokane was a pretty small event, but it was still very cool. The organizer is a pretty cool guy. His name's Josh Awesome. He changed his name in Awesome, which I think is just freaking awesome. He's a funny guy. So I had a good time there. Afterwards, after the event, I also visited some family in LA and spent some time there. Then, time where I was in LA, I also had a small event in LA. It was the opening of Elora Fitness. Again, some really cool people that I met. We also did an event in Vegas, so we drove all the way to Vegas and did a little just a little meet and greet in the vegan cafe in Vegas. In November, I did the Vegan Fach in Cologne, which is like, you know, one of the bigger vegan events here in Germany. That was pretty cool too, because that was actually my first vegan event for like, I think 4 years or so. I hadn't been doing any vegan events in Germany for a pretty long time because I was, you know, traveling so much and doing stuff outside of Germany, and this was my first event after a pretty long time. It was fun. Then in August, I had an event in Denmark, and that right after that event, I came back to Germany and I had a TEDx talk in Dresden. I can probably show you a little bit of that too. And then in September, I also had the Veg Fest in Dublin. And that was a pretty cool one because, well, Dublin is always fun. I really like to meet the vegan crowd in in Ireland. So it was fun, but I also had again some hard time there because what basically happened is I booked a place. I usually book via Airbnb, but this time I used a different service. I just booked a place and my flight was delayed. I already had a pretty late flight and then it was delayed again. So I was there just, you know, in the middle of the night. And what basically happened is they didn't open the door. So I was lost on the, wait a second, I forgot one part. So I was already delayed, and what happened then is I lost my way to the place. So I was just walking for 2 hours until I found the actual place, and then they didn't open the door. So I had to basically spend the whole night outside until in the morning, where I, just called the event organizer in Dublin, and he offered to, you know, let me sleep at his place. So I had like 2 hours of sleep or so before the event. That was a pretty freaky one. Yeah, so that was Dublin. And then this year I had an event in Bavaria just a few weeks ago, and then just recently I had a big thing on, like, it's the second largest political talk show, and I was invited to, you know, we're just discussing the way animals are treated in the livestock industry, and if that's ethically, something that's okay or not. So I had some pretty good discussions there too. And I can probably show some of the footage here. That was a German TV show. And then throughout all, the time, what I was also doing was I was renovating the house. So I just basically, there was a lot of energy also going into renovating the house. I did a lot of the stuff myself with friends, who helped me. So that took a lot of time and energy too. So that's a recap of everything that happened, while I wasn't making any videos. See you just in 1 or 2 days when the next video comes out, where I'm going to tell you what is going to come up next on this channel. Hi, I'm Patrik Baboumian, and I'm here in the forest waiting for that protein deficiency to set in.